Alright, so I'm just going to basically start in random order. I'll just get whatever is there. This is actually like the first, well, the body at least, and a lot of the hardware. Actually, I think it's the bridge, just the jack plate. This is actually like the first real guitar I ever had. This started out as a Silvertone. Now, because my friends were kind of dicks, it wasn't exactly cool having a Silvertone, so I was a little embarrassed by that. But it started out as just a Strat style. It was black, had a white pick guard, the 3 single coils, and then just the maple neck with a rosewood fingerboard. And to, I guess, kind of alleviate the problem of having a Silvertone, even though the guitar's pretty solid. Like, the body I haven't really had a lot of problems with. I mean, it's got like a lot of dings and stuff in it, but, you know, it is pretty old. I think I got this in 99, so yeah, it's getting up there in age. But I got a Squier Strat neck, and then I bought a Fender decal. I know it's not the most ethical thing to do, but that's just what I did. But when I was in high school, my senior year, I was in automotive, and a couple of my friends were actually in, I'll move this down so maybe you can see the guitar better. A couple of my friends were like in the auto collision area of automotive, so I had them paint the body. A friend of mine, he actually happened to be painting an Oldsmobile that he had, and it was white, and I really wanted a white guitar. And so he went ahead and painted it up. It looks really good. It is like really yellowing. Now the back plate, I actually had to make this because the one that came with it was black, and I wanted it to be white, and I was buying pickguard material anyway, so yeah, that's, I had to completely make this myself, and then I went ahead and just did like a square, or a rectangular kind of hole so I can get the strings in. The pickguard itself, I know a couple people have said, the Imperial Japanese flag. I was really into Japanese stuff at the time, so instead of just having a red dot like the current Japanese flag, I'm like, okay, the Rising Sun will look cool. And you can buy pickguards like this, but the thing is, they're not on the pickup cover. So what I did was I like basically put those in place and painted the whole thing. So now it's actually on the pickup covers too. But the assembly was from Stuart McDonald. They sell guitar stuff. Tools, electronics, things like that, and it was only like $40 for like the whole electronic assembly, and it sounds really good. It was actually definitely worth it, paying that little bit. The selector tip, I got that from eBay. It came with like a set of pickup covers that were red, and some like red Strat style knobs. These knobs, these red chrome ones, these are from eBay as well. I used to have them on something else, but then I threw them on here because I really like the look. The tremolo is actually just blocked. I basically just bolted it down, put like 5 springs in there because I didn't really want the whammy bar, at least not on this one. And then I put red strings, kind of go with the motif, I guess you could say. So yeah, that's my Strat. Still sounds really good. I still play this thing a lot. This is set up in E. So let's go ahead and go to the next one. Alright, so this is a Squier Telecaster. The reason I got the Squier rather than like a Fender is because this was less than $200, and I wasn't even sure if I was even going to like Telecasters. I know Bill Kirchen is a big Telecaster player, but John Five, he used to be a Marilyn Manson, for those of you who don't know. He's a really good guitarist, but he's a huge Telecaster fan. He has like an amazing collection of Telecasters. You can like look that up here on YouTube. It's awesome, but I really wanted a maple neck with a maple fingerboard, and I was able to get that. Now, unfortunately, I wanted a blue one, but at the time, because they kind of change it up every so often, they didn't have blue, so I had to go with the Arctic White, which I don't really care for because it's a little too yellow. I wish it were just like white, like an Olympic white, but this thing plays really well. The only thing I was considering doing is yanking out the black inlays and replacing those with pearl, or at least like maybe some kind of clay, because I know you can get like the old vintage style Fender clay dots. And also, if I could, I'd really like to get rid of this bridge pickup and get a white one with the white bob. And those are a bit harder to find, but I'd really like to have like a nice pure white look. But honestly, this guitar sounds great. I mean, it's less than $200, and one thing that actually kind of pissed me off, but most people would be happy about, is I got it in the mail, and I was hoping I could set it up. I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna have to, do all the stuff and do all the intonation. I was like really excited. It was set up from the fucking factory, like just perfectly. I'm like, God, I mean, it was cool that I didn't have to do that myself, but I was kind of looking forward to that, so it kind of pissed me off. But I'm like, really Squier does that? This is one of the reasons I prefer Fender stuff over pretty much anyone else, especially Gibson. I think Gibsons fucking suck. They're way overpriced, and you really don't get any bang for your buck. But this guitar is actually really nice. I was actually shocked at how much I like this guitar. Now I really want like a Fender Telecaster. Hopefully, well, preferably like in Lake Placid blue. I know I'm not going to be able to get like the blonde finish, at least not a good one, or like a Mary Kay. Probably won't be able to find any of those that I like. Or my favorite Fender color, Sonic Blue. I'd really love to have that, or even Fiesta Red. That might look cool too. But those colors I'm probably not going to get. Telecasters go for about $500 now, so I might get one down the road. That's not too expensive. I mean, that's not going to break the bank on me or anything. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get going with the next one. Alright, so the next one is an Ibanez RG. I really wasn't looking to buy it, but I got a really good deal. I got this, plus a drum set, and a hard shell case for $200. And to me, that is a deal you cannot pass up. But this one's got the Wizard neck. It's really thin. I've actually shown this in a video. The reason the guy wanted to get rid of it was because he changes tuning so much, and it has the locking nut in the Floyd Rose, which, does kind of restrict you if you want to change tunings a lot. But at the time, I didn't have any guitars in drop B, and I really wanted to play like Type O Negative songs, so I set this up for drop B. It actually sounds pretty good. Now, I got the black strings for this thing, and they kind of sound dead, so I was thinking about just getting some regular. I generally go with Ernie Ball strings. These are, damn, I forget what they are. I know they're Black Beauties, and then the ones on the Strat are Red Devils. I forget the brand, but, whatever. I changed out the knobs. These were on a bass that I got, which I'm going to be showing later, but I really wanted all black. One thing that does piss me off about this guitar is the whammy bar. The whammy bar, it didn't come with one, which, okay, I can't really complain. I mean, I basically paid $100 for this guitar, or less if you consider everything I got with it. So it didn't have that, but you can buy them. Now, I bought one, $20. $20 fucking dollars for a whammy bar. And that's like the real Ibanez shit. But the thing is, like, it's not like this Cosmo black, like the hardware is. It was black, and I really wanted Cosmo, so it matches. But I couldn't find that, so I just had to get it $20, and it broke. And I'm not hard on this thing either. I said hard on. But anyway, so instead of paying $20 more, I said, fuck that. I'm not paying $20 for a piece of metal like that. So I just took one of my old whammy bars that I just had laying around, put a little bit of tape on it to kind of thicken it up, threw it down in there, and it works fine. And I just put some black tape because it was a little bit too slick, and I wanted to have a bit of grip, and plus the black kind of looks better. But it's a nice guitar. I mean, the neck is really thin. It feels great. It puts like no strain on your hand, and it doesn't sound the best. I think I'd like to replace the pickups, at least the bridge pickup, because that's the one I use most. But I've actually gotten offers for this thing, and I guess someone told me, I don't know how true this is, that like this finish, which is like black and it has like orange glitter in it, someone told me like that's a really rare finish. But like I said, I don't think that is the case. But someone actually offered like $2,000 for this, and I think I just kind of lost contact with it, because I mean, honestly, I'd sell this thing for $2,000. I'm like, oh, I can get over it. I can buy another one of these for like $500. It's not that special to me, and then I could buy other stuff too, like maybe some Fenders. But anyway, so that's this one, my RG. It's a really nice guitar. I like it. Yeah, I kind of regret losing contact with that guy, because, $2,000. Now I'm thinking about it, sounds great, but whatever. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, so my sophomore year of high school, I really wanted a Les Paul. And the thing is, I really don't like real Les Pauls, because the bodies, they're too heavy. In fact, some people don't know this. SG, those are technically Les Pauls. In fact, the original ones actually said Les Paul Custom. SG just stands for solid guitar. And what the SG was basically a way of addressing the problems people have with Les Pauls. Namely, that the body was so thick. And that's because there's actually a top that's glued on. It has, the belly, or whatever you want to call it, the contours. it made the guitar really fucking heavy. So the SG was just a solid piece of wood, no top glued on. And then also it's hard to like get to some of the higher frets. So the SG actually went down further, and then it had like the horn, so you had better access. This one was just an Epiphone. It came with a pack that came with an amp, which I don't even think I have that anymore. I think I just gave that away. And, you know, because, I mean, my dad, he wanted to give me other stuff for Christmas. That was like $200, $250, something like that. So I really liked this guitar for a long time. Not really a huge fan of humbuckers anymore. Much more into single coils these days. But I decided to go... I was really into Iron Crosses at the time. So I got these knobs from eBay. I put covers on the humbuckers. I actually had to take a real, like, Les Paul scratch plate or pick guard, whatever people call it. I know in Britain a lot of people call them scratch plates, and I had to like cut part of it off and resand that because it was actually covering up one of the knobs. So until I did that, basically what I had to do was completely take that pot out, and it would just be in the back. It's like, well, it is just volume, and I keep it on 10, so fuck it. But I went ahead and cut that down so it looks better. I got like the sticker inlays, which are actually made to be inlays, from eBay, and Iron Cross strap locks, the neck plates, and then also I put Iron Cross studs. Like I said, I was really into Iron Cross at the time. So it's a nice guitar. I mean, I don't play it as much as I used to, but this one is set up in drop D, so when I need to play stuff in drop D, then there you go, I have this. But yeah, I mean, it's a nice guitar. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's kind of old. Not exactly like the most expensive model, but again, I like to take guitars and like customize them, make them like mine. So anyway, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Alright, so some of you guys are probably going to know that I'm a big Type O Negative fan. And Peter Steele died, what was that, in 2009 or 10, I forget. But I was really upset about that because I really love Type O Negative. They're definitely one of my all-time favorite bands. Ever since I first started listening to them, I really got into them. So I had this guitar laying around. From my Fender, I took the neck off, you know, because it was a silver tone neck, and then I had this leftover body, and it was actually a nice body. Like, it has, you know, just the one pickup, all black pickguard, doesn't have like the sandwich kind of stuff, you know, where it's like layered. So it was just all black, and it was pretty much just sitting there, and I had no idea what the hell I was going to do with it. I'm just like, fuck, I need to have some kind of idea. I considered doing like the Terran Empire, the symbol from my avatar, like putting it across here and then making it so I can still take off the pickguard, because I actually found some rub on decals. But what I decided to do was make a Peter Steele like tribute guitar. And Peter Steele had, now he painted his frets, but he had to keep on repainting them like before a lot of shows. So I did all the green, like I painted a lot of this stuff. I just basically went off of what he had, and he had like all black hardware, so I have all black hardware. He did these like little stripes, and then he had the stripes on the back too. I noticed that, but then I would take black tuners, paint the tuning keys, all that good stuff, and it's somewhat close to what his headstock shape looked like. This neck I had to actually paint. This is the first neck I had ever painted, and it doesn't look terrible for what it is. It doesn't look great either, but it gave me some good practice. And then I had to completely refret the neck too, because years ago I had actually pulled out the frets. I have no idea why I did that, but you know, I had to completely redo the frets. I stained the fingerboard with Black India ink, and then the last thing I did after all the hardware, Peter Steele, a lot of times, like in the earlier days, had a chain. So like this actually has a chain for the strap, and yeah, it digs into your collarbone, but it does look pretty cool. This is a pretty heavy-duty fucking chain. I mean, it seems like that weighs more than the guitar itself. But yeah, I was really happy with the way this turned out. I showed my old guitar player. He's actually the one that got me into Type O Negative. He said he like wanted to cry because, you know, he couldn't listen to Type O Negative after Peter died for like 6 months. He was like, you know, I think if you sent a picture of one of the guys from the band, they would probably like thank you, because, you know, that is really cool that, you know, paid that much attention to detail and everything. But so yeah, it's pretty cool. This one's set up in drop B, obviously, so I could play Type O Negative songs, and they always played in drop B. At least I think. I'm pretty sure. I can't think of any songs where they didn't. But anyway, let's go on to the next guitar. All right, so this one is really cool. A little bit of background on this. Ibanez, before they started doing like the RGs, the Iceman, which I think Paul Stanley helped really get them off the ground with the Iceman, and he had like the shattered mirror looking one. It looked really cool. But Ibanez, they used to just make really good copies. And they were like a fraction of the price. And Gibson found out about this, and they decided to sue him. Because, it's like, okay, well, you can pay $1,000 for, a Les Paul, or you could pay like $500 or less for an Ibanez, and it's like exactly the same. And by the time it went to trial, Ibanez had actually stopped making the copies, and they started working on their own designs. So this is what they call a lawsuit guitar. Now, where I used to work, when I was an electrician, I worked with this guy, and he just asked me one day, "Hey, David, you know how to work on guitars, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, what do you need done?" Thinking that, he was going to have me work on his guitar, and I would have done it for free. I mean, I'll do that. I mean, fuck it. Why not? I mean, I like the guy. He's like, "Oh, no, there's one I want to give you." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was just thinking it'd be some little cheapy shit. So I go out to his car. Not only did it have a case, but you open it up, it's a fucking Flying V. Now, I've had to put a lot of work into this. The problem is, the neck was broken. You could see the break right there. And even when I restrung this, it's still separating, so I'm going to have to pull out my syringe and inject some glue, or maybe epoxy. And it's been pretty beat. There was a huge gouge. You can see like where I filled in the wood, and it was even like that on the headstock. I repainted that, but I tried to like get it to like match the rest of the finish. I tried to fill in some of the wood back there. It's got a lot of like gouges. Nonetheless, it is awesome. I wanted to get a completely new neck, but those things were really, really fucking hard to find that would fit this neck pocket, because it doesn't taper as it goes higher. It's basically just one size. I had to completely refret this one as well, but it wasn't really working as well as I was hoping, so I'd actually use super glue and replace the pickups with a couple that I had, because like the stock ones just didn't look that good. Now, the one thing that sucks is it is really hard to find a lot of the parts. Like, I need a bridge. So, basically what I'm going to have to do is just go around and find something that will actually fit this spacing. And then I bought new knobs. These are like the vintage style. I forget what they call those. Like top hat ones? I don't know, something like that. But it even has like little dial indicators. It actually sounds pretty good. The pickups aren't like the best I've ever heard, but they're definitely not bad. I think I got those for like $60 for the pair. But it's very cool. I'd still like to do some more work to it, like replace the screws, the ones that are really rusty. But it's really cool. It's just the only thing that sucks is it's hard to play, because you can't play like this, like you normally would, because it just slides. You basically have to play with it on your leg and play like this. The strings are really loose because, like I said, the neck was kind of separating. But really cool. Really, really, really cool guitar. In fact, there's some people that, like, they love these so much that they will, like, go out of their way to find them. I don't see myself selling it or anything like that. But, yeah, I'd really like to finish this bastard up, get it all going. Because I know my old guitar player, he was really excited to see it. He's like, "Man, that looks really cool. I really want to play that now." So, yeah, this is another one. It's going to take some money. I mean, a lot of the stuff's original, like the original Ibanez tuners. They're actually locking tuners as well, so that's really cool. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff about this guitar. I'd like to keep it as like original as possible, but unfortunately, it's really hard to find a lot of these parts. So there's that. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. All right, this was the second guitar I had ever owned. And it's really dusty and beat up. Like, the finish is just atrocious. It's a 3/4 size. I guess you could make it a classical or use regular strings, even though, like, the neck. There's no truss rod adjustment on here. I think it just has, like, the rods in there. But I think you can actually use regular acoustic strings, but it started to make the neck go into a really bad up bow. So I put nylon strings. So it doesn't project that well. But it means something to me because, like I said, it was the second guitar I'd ever owned. It's really cheap. It does. I don't think there was ever a brand on here or anything like that. And it has like the remnants from the old pick guard, which I'd like to get one for it. But it means something to me. I mean, you can tell the fingerboard's just painted. The frets are chewed to hell. But I've had this thing for so many years. I think I got this in 1996 or 7. So yeah, it's pretty old, but and it has holes in it. But I don't know. I can't get rid of the damn thing. So I mean, it's still playable. I mean, it's small. It's really easy to play because, you know, it's not like a regular acoustic, you know, where your arm has to go over this. And I've tried to learn how to play with my fingers, too. But that's a bit hard, but I'm still practicing. But it's still a nice guitar. I think it just needs new strings. It looks like these are getting a little rusty. But anyway, not much to say about that, but that's it. I didn't mean to say that's it, is it? And that's all my guitars. That's it for this one. This is another one that's looking a bit dusty and has like some paint flecks from when I've been airbrushing. This one I actually got for free. I worked with a girl. I told her I'd buy it from her. And this is when I worked at a coffee shop. And it was the last day that we were open. And she just brought it in. She was like, I'm not going to make you pay me for it, but just please take care of it. I was like, oh, I will. I promise you I will. And it's a Carlo Robelli acoustic. This thing has seen better days. Like, the top is actually cracked. It had a chip in the finish, unfortunately. But yeah, I think one of the reasons it cracked is they actually go all the way down. I think it's because whoever had this before her, because someone just gave it to her, they were actually putting electric strings on this fucking thing. And I think that just made it start to belly up, because it does have a belly up on this, which pisses me off that, you know, such a beautiful fucking guitar. I mean, it's not the most expensive guitar you can imagine, but such a nice guitar, you know, was fucked up. But yeah, it's really bowing bad in here. So, you know, I'm trying to get this thing back in working order. I mean, for the most part I have, you know, I put like actual acoustic strings on it. So, it's, I mean, I'd like to replace the bridge pins, get possibly a pick guard. If I can get like cream to match all the binding and everything, I'd like to do that. Maybe get like some gold strap buttons and stuff like that. So yeah, that's this. Man, I really need to clean this damn thing. It's looking fucking atrocious, but most of the time when I'm playing it, I'm not thinking about the appearance. So, and then yeah, maybe I can even replace the inlays, because a lot of these are like sunken down, so it does kind of fuck with you like when you're playing, because it's just off. But yeah, I was also thinking about doing that. But this is my last like functional guitar, so let's go to basses, and then right after that I'll be showing project guitars that I have going. It's another really dirty ass one. This is the first bass I ever had. I was told it has a fiberglass body, but upon closer inspection, I don't really think that's the case. But this is just a Yamaha. I have no idea what the model number is or anything. This was, I think I got this for $60, and then I think I had to pay like an extra $40 for the hard shell case. But it's nice. This thing's gone through a lot of shit. I mean, this thing has been all over the fucking city. It's been all over the state. But I mean, it's a nice bass. It needs a good cleaning. It's because I haven't cleaned this thing in a long time. But it has, you know, the P and the J pickups. Right now it's in drop B, just for the hell of it. I haven't really done a lot to this guitar. I had some strap locks. These are the ones I really don't like. The ones like with a plunger and it goes in. This strap, I think I got that from a friend. But I mean, it's a pretty standard bass. Like, no pickup selection, which is unfortunate because I wish it did have that. The knobs aren't the greatest. The bridge is actually pretty decent. But, you know, I've never had a problem with this. You know, like, the frets look pretty worn. I think I'm going to have to replace those probably soon. But, yeah, not the greatest thing. But, I mean, I remember how excited I was at the time, you know, because I finally had my own bass. So, didn't just have to, like, borrow a friend's, and I could just sit there and fucking play. In fact, I got a PA at that same time, pretty much, too. So, at the time, I was really getting a shitload of instruments. So, yep, that's that one. Let's move on to the next. As I go on with this, I really realize how many of my fucking instruments need to be cleaned. So anyway, this is an Ibanez Geo. They started out with, I didn't have a pickguard with it. My friend, I bought it from my old guitar player. He was like, oh, it looked like shit, so I just threw it away. I'm like, god damn it, you know, I could have made a new one. But what I really wanted to have was an all-black bass. And actually, now I'm looking at this. This thing really needs a fucking truss rod adjustment. But I wanted an all-black bass, just completely black. And I even wanted to do fretless, which I haven't really done a lot of fretless in a while, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. It's not too difficult, but instead of like putting like shims in where the frets went, even though I think I really should have, I wanted to leave those, and then I had like basically markers. But so what I did was got all new pickups, because I think these used to be white. Actually no, they were black, but they had the pole pieces and I didn't want those. Black hardware, so black bridge, neck plates, the strap locks, which I actually do like. These are the ones I definitely fucking prefer. I had to completely paint the neck, stain the fingerboard. You can't really see it, but I actually made an Ibanez logo, like a really, almost like a super super dark gray, almost black. But I did like an Ibanez Geo, and then the decal sheet started to fucking peel up on me. I even did the model number on the back, but I put the elephant ear tuners on there, which I love, and then it's just black strings. My friends, when they saw this, they were like, "Dude, that is fucking cool." Damn, that fucking strap button in the back is really fucked up too. I'm gonna have to fill that in. But so yeah, I haven't really played this thing in a while because it is harder to play. It sounds pretty good, but it's pretty hard to play because it is fretless, and you have to be pretty fucking good to do it. But the neck, yeah, I had to paint that. Doesn't look the best. I use like automotive paints just out of a can, so it's not great, but nonetheless, it does still look pretty impressive. I mean, it's an all black base. So let's go ahead and get started on some of my projects. The first one is going to be a base just to keep things going. The other ones I'll explain as I get to them. Alright, so this next one, years ago my cousin bought this bass from a guy, and it was okay. I mean, it was fine, but the guy who had it before him like yanked out all the frets, so it was fretless, and it was just black. This is just kind of sanded because I want to paint this, and I'm explaining that in a few. But he has kids now, so he doesn't really play music anymore. So he gave it to my dad when my dad was helping him move. And my dad's like, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with it, so I told him I'd take it. So, the fretboard had been worn to shit. I need to file these frets, too. The fretboard had been worn to shit, so I went ahead and sprayed some finish, especially consider the fact that this used to have the black plastic inlays. Replaced those with the pearls. Those slots were not very good either. I did the best I could. They're pretty decent. Like, they were level good. Like, I actually did a good job with that. But the face of the pegboard, when the peg head was black. I think this was like, I forget what the brand was, but I got rid of that and like used some vintage amber spray because what I want to do with this is make an all white base because I have my all black one, and this one I want to make all white. So that's why I put like the pearl inlays, and I want to paint the body. Hopefully this spring because I actually and then I had to make this pickguard too because the pickguard that was on it just looked like total shit. In fact, I might still have it somewhere. I don't know. But, so I had to completely make that myself, because it's not like a standard pattern. It's something really odd. And then I was afraid that if I bought something for, like a normal precision base, it wouldn't fit. One thing I really want to do is I really want to try to get white covers for base. I know they're made. I know that they do make them, but I just need to find it and throw that on there. But yeah, hopefully this spring I'll be getting to paint this. And then maybe, hopefully I can replace the nut too, because that's black, and I don't want to kind of throw off the thing, because I always have plans for my guitar. So this one, yeah, I mean the body, it's looking bad right now because it's been like lightly sanded. And yeah, so first of my project guitars. Actually, I need the new neck plate too. I forgot about that. But anyway, moving on. Okay, so this is something that I don't really have a whole hell of a lot done on it, but I have some stuff done. I remember when I used to work at the coffee shop, I would get tips and I just like saved up money and I'd buy guitar tools and guitar parts. So this is one of the ones. My cousin used to have this. It's technically still his, but I don't know what the hell he's gonna do with it. I mean, I tried to do some stuff with it, but unfortunately none of that really panned out. People have attempted to paint it a few times. This is actually a Hondo. But the cool thing about this is actually a mahogany body, which is pretty fucking rare when it comes to Strats. So, the neck is actually pretty thin. It's not bad. I mean, it's really basic, and Hondo wasn't, like, known for being, like, some super high quality brand back in the day. But, I've already done a few things to it, because what I want to do is paint this metallic purple, and then have all black hardware. I've already started working on some of this. These are just like old shit pickups that I just threw in as kind of just placeholders. And I had to polish the tops of these pickup covers because they were like flat black, but they look really good. They actually match the pickguard pretty well. So, it's going to have the 2 singles and 1 humbucker, and I just want to get, you know, black ones, uncovered humbucker for that. But I've already stained the fingerboard with India ink. That seems to work really well. It seems to get into the grain. And I put abalone inlays, and that it's not exactly the most ethical thing to use on your guitar, but you know, they're pretty nice. They look good. Kind of feel bad though, because I mean, I think they did have to kill something just to get it. But this, like I said, I want to do all black hardware. I've already started working on that. I need the new neck bolts. This is the one from my old Silvertone, the old back plate. So, and then I need tuners, which that's going to be a pain in the ass. But, you know, nonetheless, I will get them eventually. I think the tuners I got for this were for the ones I used on my Peter Steele tribute guitar. And I was just like, nah, I'd rather get this one done, because this one needs way more shit. But, again, I want to try to get this thing all painted. Damn, this thing's dusty. Get on my fucking shirt and shit. But, so this one's probably going to take a while, because I'm going to have to get probably all new electronics for the whole... Actually, no, I bought the electronics. I just need the new pickups. I forgot that. I bought, like, the little wiring kit. So, let's go on to my last one. So, yeah. And, okay, this last one is my least impressive of my project guitars, and my least impressive, just period. Now, I have, like, trouble throwing things away. I'm really nostalgic, and I hate getting rid of things. So, this is actually the first guitar I've ever owned. Now, it looks like shit now. It looks like absolute shit, but it was all black. I got this for my 10th birthday. That was the year 1995. No, it was my... Was it? Yeah, it was my 10th birthday. This is at Toys R Us. It had a built-in amp, and it used to be all black. And I was trying different things, like just trying to like do some inlay, like routing, you know, just testing things out, because I wasn't planning on doing anything with it. I had a black fingerboard on it, but I realized it was maple, so I could stain it. Now, the stain didn't really like take that well, because I think it was just really cheap wood. The body looks like, basically just looks like cardboard, but that the hole is from the built-in amp. I actually routed this out to be a humbucker, because I have a humbucker I'm going to be throwing in here, and I want to make this all green and gold. I do have to do some filling, because there was actually binding on this. Oddly enough, for such a shitty guitar, it had binding. It's like, really? But I have the nut. It's just not on there. But I want to paint this metallic green and then have all gold hardware. And I was actually telling my dad about this. And I think he was smiling on the inside, because it's like, wow, you know, he still has that. Because, you know, I told him that, you know, it meant so much to me, you know, to have this guitar in the first place. And then I got, you know, a real guitar and, you know, kind of just this. I think I gave this to my cousin. He gave it back to me. As I said, I could do something with it, like use the neck. But, yeah, I mean, it's not a bad guitar, honestly. I mean, it plays pretty well. It's really small. Like, it's like a 3/4 size. Like, the neck seems like it's, like, normal size, maybe a tiny bit smaller, but the body is just, like, this baby body. I mean, this thing has, like, no weight to it whatsoever. But I really want to make this into something special. Maybe if I have kids one day, you know, I can give this to one of them and say, hey, you know, use this. This is my first guitar. It still plays pretty well. It's a small guitar. But finding the stuff for this is going to be a huge pain in the ass, because it is so small. But anyway, so that is all my guitars. I don't think I'm going to be doing drums on this video, because I have too much shit and I have to explain too much. Because I have a decent amount of drum stuff too. You know, a few pedals and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, that's all my guitars. I'm the type of person that if I see a good deal, like if someone's like, hey, I'll give you this for $100, I'm most likely going to do it, because I just basically want to collect. I mean, that's why I have 2 fucking half stacks, and there's no reason to have them, but, I mean, since I already had one, but, you know, this was a Fender, and I really wanted it, and it was like, oh, only $200. I think the head itself is worth, I think people are getting like twice that, just for the head. Not the fucking cabinet. But anyway, so yeah, hopefully you guys had some fun with this. I know I did. So yeah, this is Bad Five, and I'll see you guys next video. I'm not sure what that's going to be as of yet. So anyway, have a good one, guys.